This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Jacobs produces an industrial foam chemical that has qualities valued in different industries. Thus, Calopeia's manufacturers of air conditioner retrofit kits are interested in buying Jacobs chemicals. Jacobs operations are discussed with a focus on the network, including a factory and a warehouse in Calopeia. Problem identification. Jacobs aims to maximize revenues during the next 2 years of the industry's lifetime with a focus on decreasing production costs and increasing profits. In addition, it is necessary to address the problem of the lost demand. Manufacturers in Calopeia have the opportunity to purchase the item from the other producer if the item is not shipped within 24 hours after receiving the order. It is possible to resolve the problem by adding capacity to the factory, changing the order quantity, controlling ROP, and changing the shipping method. Demand. Looking at the demand for the previous 2 years of producing chemicals, it is possible to state that the average demand was about 25 to 45 drums per day. Focusing on the fact that the demand is seasonal, but rather stable, it is possible to forecast the demand for the next 2 years in about 39 drums per day because 28,611 divided by 730 is equal to 39.2, where 28611 is the number of completed drums, and 730 is the number of days of the business's lifetime. The cost differential between truck and mail. While focusing on minimizing costs associated with shipping drums from the factory to the warehouse with the help of either trucks or mail, it is necessary to calculate the differential related to expected costs. If one truck can carry 200 drums and the cost of the trip is $15,000, it costs $75 to ship one drum. In comparison, it costs $150 to mail one drum. This number doubles the costs of using trucks. Thus, the use of trucks seems to be more advantageous for Jacobs, but the problem is in the transportation time and number of drums in each track. It is important to adjust the schedule and control completing trucks while focusing on avoiding the lost demand. The solution is to use mail when the number of drums is 100 items or less than 100 items. Order quantity. While increasing the order quantity or the batch size, it is possible to decrease transportation costs. Chaining the order quantity from 150 to 200 on day 730, it is possible to achieve cost savings in production. Thus, Jacobs regularly produces about 190 batches. The cost without the number of drums $1,000 is 190 batches, x $1,500, price per batch, equals $285,000. While increasing the order quantity and focusing on 200, it is possible to produce about 143 batches. As a result, it is possible to save about $70,500 because 190 minus 143, multiply $1,500 equals $70,500. Increasing the batch size to 400 on day 1055, it is possible to save more than $105,000 because the production costs will be 2 times less. To produce batches including 400 items is a more cost-saving strategy because production costs become twice less, and transportation costs also decrease because of the opportunity to make fewer trips to the warehouse. Capacity. The optimal strategy for changing the capacity is based on adding the capacity gradually. Timeline. Day 730. It is possible to calculate the regular capacity without adding more drums. 90 days x 20 is equal to 1800, and 28,611 minus 1800 is equal to 26,811. There are 610 days to make the capacity 44 because 26,811 divides 610 days equals 44 and to achieve the optimal amount in 45 before stopping production. Day 731, it is necessary to change the capacity. and make it 40 drums per day. Day 938. It is necessary to achieve the optimal capacity of 45 drums per day. Capacity in 45 drums addresses the company's focus on maximizing profits because, by increasing capacity, Jacobs receives the opportunity to accept more orders and reduce production and transportation costs. Expanding the capacity by 20 drums produced per day, the company faces capacity costs of $1 million, and 90 days are necessary to complete a capacity expansion. However, focusing on savings in production and transportation costs, it is possible to add capacity on day 938 instead of 822 to balance the production schedule and costs. As a result, achieving a capacity of 45 drums, Jacobs can realize its potential in production and maximize profits. This report on Calopeia, supply chain game write-up was written and submitted by a student just like you. The Ivy Panda Samples database hosts thousands of works similar to this one, on various subjects. Visit ivypanda.com to find what you are looking for, free of charge.